You don't need to buy expensive plugins to add cool titles to your project in Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro includes one title most people don't even know about that has endless potential for animation. It's called a custom title, and you can find it in the built-in out category. Let's take a look and see what you can do with it. When you first add this to your timeline, all you get is basically the basic title. You can adjust the text and appearance of it, but right out of the box, there's zero animation. The real magic of the custom title is revealed when you select the title inspector. This gives you a ton of animation controls for animating your text in and out. First, let's take a look at a few general controls, then we'll build a few different titles just to show you how versatile this title really is. For the end controls, what you're doing here is basically setting the starting point for your animation, and Final Cut Pro animates the text back to the point you see here. Let me show you. Let's move our playhead to the start of the clip and bring the opacity slider all the way down to 0. Now, if we move our playhead ahead one frame at a time, as you can see, the opacity of each character gradually comes up until the opacity of the entire title is at the original 100%. The length of this animation can be adjusted with a duration slider. This can be set to anywhere between 5 to 60 frames, making our text animate on slower or faster. We can also change our animation unit size with this title. We can set it to animate in one character at a time, one word at a time, one line at a time, or even the entire title. The sequencing drop-down menu sets the direction of our animation. By default, this is set to from, meaning the title animates from the in parameters to the original. If we set this to 2, our title will animate from the original parameters to the settings selected in the in controls. Setting this to through animates our title from the original settings to the settings you select in the in controls and back to the original. Through inverted is the opposite of that. If we want to add more than one part to our animation, we need to set the sequence to from keyframes and keyframe our animation. The spread slider adjusts the spread of our animation. With this set at 1, our first unit will animate on, then the next one, and so on. Bringing this up, we'll start animating the subsequent units before the animation of the first unit is complete. And last, the variance slider basically randomizes all the end controls. All the other controls are pretty self-explanatory. The out controls below are the same, except they are used to adjust the out animation. Now, let's take a look at how easy it is using these controls to make animated titles. Remember, all the end controls set the starting point of your text. So, for this example, let's set the duration all the way up to 60 frames and set our unit size to characters without spaces. Let's bring the opacity all the way down to make our characters fade in. And let's also make everything grow in size, so bring the scale slider all the way down too. We can make our characters flip in by setting the starting rotation to 180 degrees and come up from the bottom by dragging down on the Y position value. To smooth everything out, let's bring up the blur slider, set the in spread to about 3, and set the speed type to ease out. For our out animation, let's maybe just add the fly-through effect, where the camera moves in towards the title, making the viewer feel like they're flying through the text. This is super simple. Just move your playhead to the last frame in your clip, and in the out animation controls, open the position dropdown to reveal more controls. Click on the Z-axis value and drag up until the title disappears. Add some blur and set the out speed to accelerate. With just a few simple adjustments and 0 keyframes, here's the title we made. Let's look at another example, this time trying the through animation. First, let's bring the in opacity down to 0 to fade in our text, and bring the in blur slider all the way up. Bring the duration slider all the way up to emphasize this effect, and change the in sequencing to through. For the out animation, add the same parameters, but this time set the unit size to word. For our next example, let's use keyframes to make an overshot title. The first thing we need to do is change the in sequencing to from keyframes. Anything we adjust from now on, we'll have to use keyframes, but this will allow us to add more than one value to each parameter. For example, let's use a position parameter to make our text fly in towards us, overshoot the original size, and bounce back. We can do this one character at a time, but I think it looks way better animated in one word at a time. With our playhead at the start of the clip, Expand the position parameter, and bring down a Z value until the text is fairly small. Add a keyframe here. Move about 5 frames ahead. And to overshoot the text, bring this value up to a bit over 0, maybe somewhere around 50. Move a few more frames ahead and bring the value back to 0. Let's speed up our animation with a duration slider and keyframe the in opacity to fade in at the start. Let's also make our out animation random. Move your playhead to the end of your clip, and in the out controls, bring up the out variant slider. Set the out duration and fade out your text by bringing the out opacity slider down to 0. This title preset in Final Cut Pro is so versatile, I strongly recommend making this your default title. This way, you can just use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl-T to add it to your timeline and make it as subtle or flashy as you need. Try it out and see what you come up with. Thanks for watching. I'll see you back here next week.